What's up, everybody? It's good to be back. How you guys doing, man? It feels like it's been a while since my last stream with you guys, man. Talking about Knicks. Back with my partner, Zenray, with Zenray Sports TV. Wanted to come on here and apologize to you guys. And I know we haven't been, bringing you any content in the past week, but some stuff happened in our own personal lives between Zenray and myself. And as always, family comes first. So we had to take care of that stuff. But all is handled, all is well. And we're happy to be back. And I know that it's just the summer right now. And the Knicks a little bit, we got a little break from Summer League. And we're getting ready for training camp. But it doesn't mean that we have to stop doing what we're doing. We got some updated news, some speculations. And I'm just happy to be back here with you guys. Appreciate you guys stopping in. For those who are going to stop in, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be doing a free giveaway very soon for a Knicks Tumbler. So look out for that. Let me get my partner in here, Zenray with Zenray Sports TV. Give me 1 second.
Does this make a Knicks team much better? I think it does. Leave your comments and give us your opinions on what lineup you think the Knicks should be throwing out there. Me and Juby spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. I think the addition to Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier is going to create, I think, top 10 defense. They'll still be, and I think it'll be a top 10 offensive team as well. So that means I can see the Knicks grabbing that 4 spot again. So what do you think, Juby? Welcome.
What's going on, Zenray, man? It's good to see you, man. I was just telling my viewers that me and you had some personal stuff to take care of in our lives, but man, it's good to hear you. Good to hear your voice. I'm happy to be back, man. I know the Knicks, just like the Knicks, we have the little summer off, and it's been a little quiet, but doesn't mean that our content stops. And I'm excited, man. I know I just overheard you talking about what place we're going to finish. Man, I can't wait for preseason to start. I'm over here on pins and needles.
I agree. And let me first just say, I'm going to commend all the content creators who does anything on YouTube. Never mind sports. Sports alone is a great thing for people to come in. So many channels out there. So what I'm trying to say is it's a challenge. I mean, when you have stuff going on in your life and you're trying to create content, you have to be well organized, and that's something I'm definitely working on to get content out there. So I've been away for a while. I had some family
Personal stuff.
Personal stuff. So, but that said, Juby, it's nice hearing your voice and having you here.
Absolutely.
I was talking about JJ Redick, the 37-year-old sharpshooter who's a free agent, and he's born in Brooklyn, 15-year-old vet. The Knicks can use a player like that, but like I was saying, if I was him and you want to win a championship, you're much closer to Brooklyn than we are here. But I wouldn't say that. I think the Knicks are gonna once again shock the NBA. What do you think, Julie?
I think so too, man. That JJ Redick speculation, I've been hearing it for the last 2 weeks. It's a deciding factor between Knicks and Brooklyn. Brooklyn just went ahead and signed somebody right now, yesterday. And I apologize, I don't remember off the top of my head I don't really follow Brooklyn, even though I should because they're a New York team. But once I get it, I'll make sure I'll give you guys that info. But I'm also hearing that Lamarcus Aldridge is making an NBA comeback, and the Nets are going to pick him up. So where does that leave room in Brooklyn for JJ Redick? Unless you're going to cut DeAndre Jordan?
Yeah, no, I think the Nets are fine with some room.
We don't want that. We'll make room for him. We'll get rid of Mr. Breakfast protein Kevin Bacon, whatever his name is. We'll get rid of him. I just wanted to let you know, salute to the Ron Baker Nation. He officially retired from the NBA last week. And me and my partner couldn't do a show. I was waiting to bust his chops a little bit about it. But we salute you, sir. Well-deserved NBA career. Thank you. I hope you could pursue a career at Harvard as a lawyer, because that's exactly what you look like you'll be prospering.
So the person that the Nets, I think what I'm hearing is Paul Millsap.
That they signed him officially. Paul Millsap just got signed by the Brooklyn Nets. So
He was with the Denver Nuggets, and I think he's a good addition, man. I mean, I think, but remember, camp is coming up. The best 15 are going to make the team. And hey, the guy averaged 9 points off the bench, had 5 rebounds in 20 minutes of play last year for the Nuggets. So listen, the Nets use body, especially they're injured. So and they get injured. So you can have an addition guy coming off the bench and that can spell at different positions on the floor. I think the Nets made a good pickup there. I think the Nets they know that they can't play Kyrie Irving 35, 40 minutes. Almost, you have them almost what we have in Rose. So look, the Nets can use every little player they have, but I agree, every player that comes out, it seems like the Nets are signing, but they're getting armed and ready. And I see the Brooklyn Nets being top two, top three team in the NBA.
Yeah, for sure. Once upon a time, Paul Millsap was an NBA All-Star. I don't know if you remember. He was one of the few players after Carmelo Anthony left that decided to sign a big contract with Denver, and he was a 20-point average shooter player for that organization. But just like Udonis Haslem for the Miami Heat, he's gotten older, and he can still contribute 10, 11 points a game. And Brooklyn is giving him a shot, which I think it's great for them. Like you said, they can always use a body. And, they got Blake Griffin, but you never know with that injury, how his body's going to react. But I'm also hearing that DeAndre Jordan might get bought out. So
yeah, speculation. That's the game plan, and I think that's why they picked up Millsap. Remember, Griffin is the offensive guy, and if you could bring Millsap as a defensive stopper, because that's his game. That's defense is still, regardless. He's probably one of the best defenders when he was younger, obviously, but he still plays defense. And imagine a combination of Blake Griffin offensively, and then when you need to shut the doors down toward the end of the game, you can bring Millsap in just to be a stopgap defensively. So that's not a bad acquisition at all. And yeah, DeAndre Jordan is going to be bought out. The question is, there'll be probably many teams out there who will be suiting for him, but that'll be the question: what team? I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers sign another player like that as a backup center there. So.
Or he might go back home and go help Kawhi Leonard out back in LA. That was his first team. That's a good pickup.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But enough about talking about Brooklyn. Let's talk about our New York Knicks. So
I was telling my fans what matchup are you most excited for? And now that we've gotten a couple of weeks to see the schedule, and we got a couple of key matchups that I remember from last year. Of course, us as Knicks fans, our key matchup is against the Atlanta Hawks. We want a revenge kind of game, if you will. But what other matchups are you really excited to see?
Well, remember, besides Atlanta, I think always the rivalry between Brooklyn and New York is always top. So you want to see where you gauge with them when you play against them. So for me personally, just the rivalry itself, Brooklyn and New York. And I know I spoke about Kylie, how Brooklyn's so good, but you're adamant of how close they are. And I think you're right. I think the Knicks can compete with Brooklyn because we have a tool that we do and a defensive coach that we play. We're always going to be a top with Thibodeau. We're always going to be a top 10 defensive team. And
right.
I'm not saying that Brooklyn doesn't play defense, but they don't play the high quality defense that we do. So defense alone, I think acquisitions we made. I think, wow, it's a flip of a coin, man. A 7-game series, I still give the edge to Brooklyn, but that coin is still coming. I can still see the Knicks upsetting them, man. That's the matchup for me.
Listen, I love the fact that the NBA is rid us off last season. Nobody in their wildest dreams, including Knicks fans, thought they were going to do what they did last season. And now they're doing it again. They're saying that based on the schedule and how much other teams have improved talent-wise, that the Knicks didn't do enough, that it all depends on if Kemba Walker and Derrick Rose stay healthy, and that the Knicks are going to probably be fighting for the last 7th or 8th or 9th out of the bubble for the bubble playoff thing. And it's unbelievable that I'm hearing that. Like, we get no respect. But you know what? I'd rather us be underdogs, and I'd rather everybody put us down on the ground and then when we come up and we showed up like my man Julius Randle said, New York, we here, and that's exactly what's
Right,
gonna happen this upcoming
right.
season.
I totally agree. We still listen. I think they know we're here, but I don't think they realize how good we are, how much better we're getting. So I think you're right. I don't think they're underestimating us, but they think it's saying, okay, maybe it was like a 1 year fluke type of thing. But I
Cinderella
think,
season. That's what they
yeah,
think.
I think the Knicks are. I'm gonna say they're third, fourth seed. I can see them surprising getting up that third seed. I know people are gonna think I'm crazy. I'm saying fourth, but hey, I see the Knicks upsetting a lot of teams, and there's the latest news I'm looking at now that about 10 hours ago. Uh, wow. So they're talking about JJ Redick is going to make a decision. It's going to be between the Knicks and the and Brooklyn. So he should have his decision made by the weekend. So we'll
Oof,
find out again by the weekend on Monday if JJ Redick decides to sign with Brooklyn or New York.
oof. Can you imagine that? I
Wow.
mean, where? Let me ask you a question. Where do you fit somebody? And I know he's not gonna get 30 minutes a game, but you got to give a man like that 15 to 17 minutes a game. Minimum. Where do you fit somebody like that when you have Alex Burke, where you have Emmanuel Quickly, Derrick Rose, and you have these rookies that are coming this upcoming season? Where do you fit a JJ Redick?
You still fit him there because I think in you'll play him basically with Burks coming off the bench, bringing two shooters off the bench. You need some scoring. You bring firepower in. I can see them bringing both in Reddick and Burks at the same time. And that's not going to affect our rookies or quickly at all. I think quickly is going to get his minutes, but down to the time if the Knicks are down, say 15 points or 13 points, and for some reason Knicks quickly on the bench is not doing well, I can see these players like Burks and Reddick come in and just you try to light it up and bring the team back.
Yeah,
I
it's a good problem to have as a coach and as a fan. It's a good problem to have when you have so many weapons and so many tools that you can utilize in your offensive scheme and as well as your defensive scheme. We'll see what happens. Hopefully by Monday he has a decision. As for me, I know you mentioned Bree, you're excited besides Atlanta. You're excited about the Brooklyn matchup. That's
yeah,
always a
yeah.
big one for me. But for me, for some reason, I don't know if it's because of baseball, it's Knicks in Boston. As a fan of New York, these Boston fans are just as rowdy as Knicks fans. They're very, stubborn, and I just love the fact that we got Kemba Walker now, Fournier, and of course Jason Tatum is over there, and I think he's gonna be only get better. And I just love playing Boston, Brooklyn, and once upon a time Chicago. Let's see what happens with this team that they just put together this season. That might be a nice little matchup and bring back some old feelings against the Chicago Bulls.
Well, I totally agree. Boston, all Philly, Boston, Brooklyn, anybody in that division is always a good rivalry, and it's a reason for it because even last year, just because we won against our people in our conference or in our division, we got the fourth seed. Because normally, if we don't beat Atlanta, 3-1 in that series, they become the fourth seed and we become the fifth seed. But it's nice that the Knicks had the home field edge and the fans got to see the Knicks
Yeah,
for a couple extra games. So
definitely.
yeah, any of those rivalries are good. I'm looking forward for the whole season, but within our division, we have to beat our people within our division. That's very very important. But Boston is definitely a a team we have history with. So and it'll be
And
interesting coming
and
back.
and let's
NBA,
not forget Mr. Mello is joining Lakers, so it's gonna be kind of funny when comes to the Garden, with LeBron James and see him on the other end of the locker room.
yeah. And you know what? Also, Ben Simmons, man, they've been talking about Ben Simmons. He's reportedly asking for a trade, and I don't know if if picking a specific destination, which I don't think. I just think he wants to get out of there, and
He
he wants
spe-
to.
he specifically said he wants to be in the California area region. So if you
Wow.
mark that down, that's the three teams
Clippers,
basically,
Clippers, Lakers.
and Warriors.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
But the problem is the Warriors don't know if they want to give up They don't know if Draymond Green and Ben Simmons can work. That's what I keep reading about. Is can Draymond Green and Ben Simmons work? And I don't know, but they got to think of it like this as well. Draymond Green right now got to be in his 32, 33, 34 around that age range. So if I'm Golden State, yeah, I understand you got to stay true to Draymond Green, and he's done a lot for your franchise. He's been a good, solid contributor, but you got to work yourself for the next couple of years. You just locked in a Stephen Curry for another 4 years and an extension contract. You got Klay Thompson that's coming back that you know what you had before he got hurt, but you don't know what you basically have. And then you have Wiggins, who probably will be part of that trade package for Ben Simmons. And I honestly, if I'm Golden State, I'll pull the trigger for Ben Simmons. That's just me, because Ben Simmons is still 20-something years old, and that future-proofs your team defensively and point guard-wise if Stephen Curry gets hurt or retires.
Yeah, I think you make a great point there. I think, Golden State would be a landing spot for almost anybody, but I think Ben Simmons, a lot of his stuff is mental, you know what I'm saying? Because it's amazing that you can watch a lot of clips when he's practicing, when he's playing like drills, or when he's just playing the game outside the NBA. He shoots the ball well from the outside. And then when game time comes, he tends to freeze up. So I think place like Golden State, I think, the Clippers, I think that's a good destination. I think if I had to take a guess, it'll be between Golden State and the Clippers, between those two teams. But what would they give up, and what do they want? I mean, because their draft picks are not valuable, at this juncture. I think the Golden State would have to give up their center, the one they drafted last year.
Oh, yeah. I forgot his name.
I think he has to be definitely in talks with that. Would I do it? I would definitely do it. If you give a center and you give up another player, and I like this kind of stuff. I think Ben Simmons is a pipe dream for a lot of teams. He already narrowed it down, but the question is Philly are they going to get the right value for him? I don't think if you trade him so quickly like this, you wait until kind of the All-Star break, and I think you'll get more value back then. I don't think they'll make a move now with that. The same thing with Lillard out in Portland. You get better value if you do it toward, the All-Star break or trading deadline type of thing. But also,
go ahead.
I'm hearing Noel and Mitchell Robinson. I'm hearing the reports that it's going to be competition for the starting position. Ooh. I think if Mitchell Robinson is on his game, I think he'll definitely win his starting spot. But I think Thibodeau wants to make sure he's there, not only physically, but mentally. So that's something interesting to watch out.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. See, I like stuff like that. I like friendly competition, between players. Look out for that. Like I said, Nerlens Noel was second in defense in blocks last season. There's a reason he was second in blocks. I know Mitchell Robinson is, on another level when he's healthy and when he's on the court. But as I said, the key word is when he's healthy and on the court. So we'll see what happens, man. Practice, and you better show up in practice, because practice is what gets you minutes. If you don't show up in practice for Tom Thibodeau, you don't play defense, guess what? You're going to be reminiscing what Ron Baker was doing for a few years back and just sitting on that bench and watching, the players go by.
So, yeah, we were talking about, obviously, Damian Lillard, but it's players are like Bradley Beal next year.
He's a free agent, so I wouldn't even trade for him.
No, I'm saying, but his availability next year, that'll be interesting. That I have a good feeling that the Knicks are going to have in next year's team, or probably sometime, depending on what happens in the season. I could see the Knicks nabbing one of these two players, but you're right about Beal. You wait at the end of the year and you'll grab him. But Damian Lillard, if something comes on the table for him, you have to make some kind of deal to get him. I think you have a lot of depth this year. I think you can afford doing something like that.
Just don't give up R.J. Barrett. You know how many documentaries I just finished watching? If you guys haven't checked it out yet, please check out the Showtime Basketball with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. What a fantastic show. I saw a show with Allen Iverson, very emotional, very touching, and how he did, all the NBA expected him to be a certain player at the age of 19 years old, and he didn't become that player until he was 20 something. And the point I'm trying to make is we forget that RJ Barrett is 19 years old, guys. Don't let this guy go. If this guy is showing at 19 years old 17 points a game, and he showed an improvement from the year before to last season, mark my words, RJ Barrett is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NBA. Give him at least 2 more years. By the time he's 21, 22, the guy's going to be a phenomenal player, established player in the NBA, hands down.
Homes virtually. I love my
Yeah, so you have to understand as a GM, after as a GM, that's the first thing you would ask for anyway,
Yeah,
because as a GM, that's the first player you're gonna ask for. You're not gonna ask for Knox as your first option to pick. That's not realistic. So obviously, when trade talks happen, definitely RJ Barrett is the top and center of conversation. Obviously, the Knicks have no motivation in trading, obviously, of what you mentioned. So I see the Knicks going elsewhere. I think we have other depth, and we have draft picks, and I think this organization did a great job in stockpiling draft picks and second rounders.
absolutely.
So I think the Knicks organization, they know what they're doing. I don't see RJ Barrett. I see RJ Barrett being here for life. I basically say. And were you surprised that the Knicks extended Mitchell Robinson a contract? That was very nice of them. I was like, wow.
Wait, they gave it to him?
Yeah, they gave him a contract. Yeah, they extended his contract, so they don't have to deal with him next year.
See, guys, when stuff personally happens in your life, look, I'm completely lost. But that's why I have my partner here. Last thing I heard, they were in talks of offering it to him. Like they were like thinking about it, but I didn't even know that they offered it to him. That's awesome. Like, listen, good for Mitchell Robinson. I want everybody to make money, be happy, take care of their families. You know what I mean? So I never want to wish bad on any NBA player, and that's even former Knicks or people who don't like the Knicks. But
Right.
we'll see what he can do, man. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna sound crazy right now, and I know you guys are kind of gonna be like, "What?" I'm so invested in RJ Barrett that if you
Right.
told me you have to choose RJ Barrett or Julius Randle, I choose RJ Barrett. That's how crazy I am over this kid right now because I see flashes. And here's the name I'm going to throw at you guys. And I know you're probably going to say there's no way he's not going to be like him. I see flashes of RJ Barrett of Once Upon a Time with Dwayne Wade. I'm telling you, I remember when Dwayne Wade first came out of college and he joined the Miami Heat. And I used to watch that team when it was him and Shaq and Jason Williams. And I remember Dwayne Wade didn't have a jump shot. For the first 4 to 5 years of his NBA career, he was a driver, only went one direction with the basketball. And look at the career that Dwayne Wade had and how many championships he ended up with. Come on.
No, I totally agree. I'm trying to look up his contract. I see that in 2021-22 season, he's going to be paid base salary of guaranteed of 1.8
How much?
million dollars. $1.8 million. That's his contract for this year.
Mitch?
But I am pretty sure last year he only made 1.6, but it's final year on his contract, which is he's going to be 23 years of age coming up. His contract is for 1.8 guaranteed. I'm pretty sure they extended his contract.
Could be
It's great.
TBD. We'll find it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure.
TBD.
Yeah.
But off the Knicks, man. I know we're talking about. I'm here. I wanted to tell you guys. I'm hearing that Mr. Porzingis might be out of Dallas, and he might be going either West Coast to another team that's very familiar, which is the San Antonio Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I'm also hearing that there's a couple of teams in the East that might be interested in Porzingis, specifically Philadelphia and the Miami Heat.
Also, that Ben Simmons thing, I don't think he wants to go to Dallas, but I think, wow.
So that's something to look out. Apparently, Porzingis and Luka experiment is pretty much over, and if it doesn't happen at the beginning of the season, it will happen by the February trading deadline. Because they don't Dallas. Mark Cuban doesn't see any. He doesn't think it's gonna work between those two guys. Porzingis has a lot of, and Porzingis was the Knicks' face for a year and a half, and I guess he's a little bit jealous of the attention that Luka is getting, and it's just not working out for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
look, I'm looking at the research. I apologize. It wasn't Mitchell Robinson. It was Clint Capella. The Atlanta, they resigned Clint Capella extended for a 2-year, $43 million contract.
Ooh.
So they're saying now Robinson is going to be asking for numbers like that coming up. So they didn't extend. I could be wrong. I don't know if I heard it, if I seen it, but and also, yeah, the Boston Celtics dished out 4 years, $54 million contract for the young big man, Robert Williams. The gentleman, our caller, called a few shows back about who the Knicks should go after.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave him that's a high contract for a guy who's a backup. Robert Williams got 4 years, $54 million. So what is Mitchell Robinson going to ask for?
You took the words right out of my mouth. If a person like Robert Williams is getting that kind of money, Taco Ball just got a contract to Cleveland, and I think he got an $8 million deal. Taco Ball, the guy who didn't really play for Boston. So look out, Mitchell Robinson is probably going to get Clint Capella money, maybe a little bit less, but we'll see,
Well, Clint Capella is 27 years old. This kid, Robert Williams, is about 23, 22 years old. So, hey, about the same age. I can see the Knicks. Look, I think the Knicks are going to see what Mitchell Robinson. I see Mitchell Robinson. If he stays healthy, I see him dominating this year. With a capital D, dominating. If he does that, oof, he's going to be worth any of that contract the Knicks are going to give him. So,
and if he does that, look out for a move to clear way for Nerlens Noel. They might use him as trade bait.
Yeah, you can still use a player like that, but you're right. If you sign for a big contract, you can trade Noel, and Sims could be a backup, and you still got 3 years of using Sims as. And that's not a bad backup either, man.
You got Sims, you got Taj Gibson, you got Obi Toppin still, unless he's involved in some kind of trade package. So you still got players, that can fill in that gap. So, if that Damian Lillard rings a bell in February, a package of Obi Toppin and Nerlens Noel and Emmanuel Quickly and some draft picks for Lillard. I don't know how I feel about that. Only time will tell, and we'll see, man, because if we're having a phenomenal season and February comes and Damian Lillard says, yo, get me out of here, I want to go to New York, and we're on 4th place, 3rd place, why would we make a move like that if we're doing it without that guy? That's what I want to, that's my whole issue. It's like, when you make a move like that, it's either you're on the verge of going to the finals and you need that one missing piece, or your team is doing this bad that you need to make a push for the playoffs. But if the Knicks are already on their way to the playoffs, but they're not nowhere near a championship, why push for a guy like Damian Lillard and give up so much like you gave up for Carmelo Anthony? I was watching, guys, check it out again, NBA Showtime. Great show, man. I even saw the Carmelo Anthony interview which was an hour and 7 minutes, and he was even talking about that. He didn't even demand the trade to New York. That he wanted to stay with Denver, and that the reason he came here was because of Amari Stoudemire and Raymond Felton. They swept him off his feet, and when he came over here for a wedding, it's great stuff, man. But we gave up too much for that guy. Even though I love him, he's one of my favorite players. If I can go back, I would say no and keep what we had.
Right. Well, look, at this point, we can't cry over spilled milk. Obviously,
The
Knicks made a lot of. I wouldn't say that's a mistake. I think Carmelo Anthony, you had experience him coming to New York. He wanted to come to New York.
Carmelo Anthony ended up, his pick was for the Knicks pick, ended up being this guy Miller from Denver, the all-star point guard.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know something? The Knicks would have found a way to drive somebody else. So
yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
You can't say. True. But I like their lineup. I like what the Knicks are doing. I see the Knicks being surprising this year again. I think they surprised a lot of people. I think personally they're better this year. They're they're still in the top 10 for me in defense, and I think that definitely with the acquisitions they have, they're a top 8 to 10 offense on the offense. I go as high as 7, 8 defensively, and I go as high as 8 and 9 on the offensive side. Um, so,
And just imagine if we get JJ Redick.
oof, off the bench, needs some
Off
instant scoring. So that's you can use a guy like that. I mean, right now, do we have a player that does that? Yeah, we have it in Burks, and then quickly can do it, but doesn't have the experience factor that Redick has, playoff teams and things he's done in the past. 15-year vet, that's his thing.
Right.
I mean, he's not there for his defense. Obviously, he's not there to drive the ball. He's just one thing he's gonna do. He's gonna once
Shoot
he
the
gets
lights
the ball,
out of the ball.
yep, he's just gonna shoot the he's gonna shoot the rock. That's the name
What,
of the game.
what was my guy who used to come out and shoot the three and put the wrestling belt on his waist for the Knicks?
Novak.
Steve Novak 2.0. Yeah. Why not? Why not? Why not, guys?
That was some good fun days. Hey, Juby, look, I'm glad I'm back on and got my feet back wet again. I've been going through a lot of challenging times, but good stuff. Good personal and some not so great. But look, life goes on, and I'm glad that and grateful that I'm here speaking in this kind of forum with you, and I'm always greatly deeply touched by the people that contact me and people that I know about supporting me and doing this, and including yourself and your family and my family as well. And that's what it's all about, family above everything. So
Absolutely. Ray, do me a favor. Let your viewers know if you guys are listening as well. I'm going to be doing, on behalf of my show and Zen Ray Sports TV, we're going to be doing a free giveaway on a Knicks Tumbler within the next 2 weeks. So if you want to enter, look out for the details on that. I'm going to give you guys the exact date. I'm actually going to display the Knicks Tumbler live on stream. It's going to be provided by Family Above Everything. Her link is in my bio. Check it out. A lot of great stuff, a lot of great merchandise. But we want to give something back to the fans. And I figured that'd be, since we're here talking about Knicks, why not? Let's just, take care of you guys. Since you guys take care of us, we'll take care of you.
Hey, yeah, let me just tell you something. I said this in the past. Merchandising part of Family Above Everything. Gina did a great job at my son's first birthday party. So if anybody out there needs any kind of birthday stuff or birthday she does everything. I mean, you can always contact her through Juby. Fantastic job. I still remember that. So I'm very grateful for that. For those
Thank you.
shirts and things she did for my party, and I'm very grateful about that. So yeah, man, the merchandising, you're getting a Tumbler out of this. Just stay tuned, man. Juby has some exciting stuff, and I'm slowly but surely getting there too, and building myself up. So
We'll get you there. We get you there.
Feel free to comment and give your opinions and any kind of things you want to talk about in the near future. So with that said, Juby, I'm out. I'm gonna continue and do more research and getting back on the game again. And I want to thank everybody for being here today once again. And I want to make sure everyone is enlightened by the universe and, be grateful for everything you have out there, because the universe will give you that vibrational feeling that you can vibrate back and receive back all that you need and all that you're seeking in life. So, because we know that the best is always yet to come. Juby, thanks for your support.
Oh, man. I missed that phrase, guys. Let me tell you, I haven't heard that phrase all week. The yet is best. The yet. You got to say it. I can't even say it. Yeah, say it one more time.
The best is always yet to come.
Later, brother.
Love you, man. Take care. We'll be on again. You want to do a quick show on and probably a week from now? You want to do another week?
Yeah, why not?
Out about the Tumbler.
Yeah.
Put that out there.
Absolutely.
I'll put it on my forum as well and let people come in and have an opportunity to win this. So thank you, Juby. Take care. Zen Ray out. Jube, it was nice talking to you again. Pass my love in to the kids, Gina and your son. All right, brother?
Definitely will, brother. Thank you so much, man. Have a great night, bro. All right, guys. That was Zen Ray with Zen Ray Sports TV. Great guy, man. Like I said, we all go through stuff. All got challenges in life, and that's how we had a little break. But rest assured, you heard him. The yet is bet. I'm gonna leave it up to him. You know what's my saying. And you know what? With that being said, I'm gonna call it. I hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe, enjoy, and as always, family above everything. Peace, guys. Good night.
Father, spare her shit. Humble. I'm digging into this, honestly knowing it's more than what I could see. Can't predict what's my future holding, my past far behind me. I know that life can get grimy, that's why I'll never look back, cause I already know what's behind me. Dear humble Lord, please come find me. Yes, I go hard for my son and my daughter, never could fail as a father. Been new to the times will be hard, believe me of that I'm not bothered. Humbly in love with it all, just trust when I say that I got him. Speak from the heart, the story we'll see if you come from the bottom. Picking into it, knowing I barely get through it. Takes all you got to be a man, just gotta level the uses. Make sure you don't have too little, and also don't overuse it. It's like my neighbor scale, all it took was a balance of movement. That's for my